There we go. What's up, everyone? What's up for you guys watching this on the YouTube replay? I got a good one for you. I got a stock I want to look at first, but I'm going to first do a stock portfolio update. Here we are year to date. We're up 0.89% in this portfolio. But today, on the day, though, a lot of stocks were red. All the defensive stocks kind of went up. We were down 0.78. United Health continued its downtrend. United Health was apparently being investigated by the DOJ for fraud. And so they're down 52% on the month. In our position, we're down 29% on them. Yeah, here's our total percent change on every stock. That's actually currently the only stock we're down on right now. Google's finally back in the green. And then we also have our small Roth IRA. It's only $1,000, but we were actually green on the day in here, and every stock in here was green. That's so weird. Like Kroger was green, Innodata, and Main Street Capital paid me a $1 dividend today as well. Not much, but I got a dollar dividend from them, which is pretty cool. We also can show you our moving portfolio. We were down 1.19% in here on the day, which isn't too bad. Here are all the stocks that we got in here. The only stock that was green was Amphenol Group. This stock's been crushing it. We're up 42% on them now. Um, Yo, what's up, Vibes? How's it going, dude? And yeah, we obviously have some losers as well, like Perion Network down here. Watch out. Don't take this as financial advice. And also, our last portfolio update here, then we'll get into the stock analysis. I got you. Is our risk on portfolio. All times, we've had this portfolio for like 3 years. We're only up 1.79%. So we have actually dramatically underperformed the market. I didn't know what I was doing when I first started investing, but now I picked a strategy that I really like of stocks. And I also bought a new stock in here today. I bought ticker symbol FUTU, and they also just paid they're making so much money. They just paid a $2 special dividend because they're making so much money. So this is my newest purchase. The whole company's worth 15 billion, and check this out right here. I mean, this is redonkulous. They made 1.9 billion of net income in the most recent quarter, and that was real net income. Wait, this is not in US dollars. I need to switch it to US dollars, but just know that the net income is literally at a record. So that's a new stock. I'll probably make a video on them later, but that's a new company that I've purchased in here. So someone or Delilah said, "Are you going to buy more United Health?" I did buy a little bit today. I've kind of just been buying since I don't have too much cash. And I'm being careful to dollar cost average. So if I oh, here we go. Scroll down to the bottom here of my purchases. Like I bought, look, my initial on May 1st, I bought my initial 4.12 shares. And then I bought point 0.1, point 0.1, point 0.1. So I'm being very careful to buy more into this company, but I do like United Health. I think the risk reward actually looks very fair on this company. They're literally down 52% in 1 month. I'll do a quick analysis on them. They also have a nice dividend. So if you buy the stock, you also get paid a 3% yield. The payout ratio is very fair. They also have a lot of room to raise their dividend. What this company is probably going to do is buy back a ton of their stock like they always do. They're literally trading at 11 times net income, lowest valuation like ever, lower than the 2020 pandemic dip. Most of the revenue comes from the United Healthcare and their Optum RX. We're actually customers of Optum RX. We use that, and look at that. 2020 it was 35 billion. Now it's 135 billion. So incredible growth here on this company. So they make 7-8 billion a quarter. So even if the fundamentals decline 30% from here, it's like priced in the PE ratio. So the net income, I don't think that's going to happen either. The net income to fall 30%, but that's priced in that could happen. So yo, I've been good vibes. How you doing? So he said IXHL. Let's check this one out. So I have not heard of this one before. Then I have another stock I really want to share with you guys. So yeah, look in the top right. This is a very risky company. They're only worth 7.4 million. So remember that right there. The whole company's worth $7 million. And in the most recent quarter, they lost 5.89 million. So I'd be very careful with this stock right here. Yeah, I wouldn't buy them. Dang, they're down 61% today. I'd be careful. What is the stock name? Yo, I forget which one we were talking about there. Stock UNH United Health Group. Oh, yo, Nick said AMD. Yo, that was actually the stock I wanted to talk about. AMD right here. What's up, Amia? Yeah, we're back. How about selling some out of the money covered calls? Yeah, that's a good way to collect passive income. I just don't. You need 100 shares. Yo, how's the night going? Kadu, good to see you, dude. Would you rather buy Sprouts or Reddit right now? Ooh, Destin. I'll answer that next. I actually own both of those. So AMD announced a $6 billion share buyback program. That's 3% of the company. So they just announced they'll buy back 3% of the stock. That's pretty cool. And look at their GPU market share. You get a lot of exposure to GPUs with AMD, 16% market share. But I like AMD for this data center growth. Data center revenues up 57% year over year. They're also a debt-free company. If we go to our bigger losers down here, we do own 12.8 shares of AMD. AMD. So yeah, they used to, they were down bad, just to $80, but they've had a nice recovery. So Destin asked, would you rather buy Sprouts or Reddit? And I actually own both of those companies. The answer is both because get not financial advice here. Don't just copy me, but Wasabi, all the apps I'm using are in the link tree in my bio. I have three different ones here. But There was my Reddit position. I'll show you the quick highlights about Reddit. You won't believe this. If this doesn't impress you, feel free to leave. Forget the name Reddit, for example. The sales were up 61% year over year. And look at this balance sheet. Reddit's a debt-free company with, let's see how much cash. I think 1.9 billion. Yeah, 1.95 billion of cash, record cash on hand. Cash from operations was at a record. So everything about Reddit, it's like a pure growth company. Honestly, again, $10 of the stock is just their cash on hand. Honestly, this is a $300 stock in a couple years from now, in my opinion, not financial advice. Something could happen. Also, Sprouts Farmers Market. Here's what's so impressive. If you're wondering, like, whoa, Sprouts Farmers Market stock has moved like Nvidia. Like, look at this crazy $20 to near 200. So here's what's so good about Sprouts Farmers Market, why they deserve the hype. This is a grocery store, and look how much they're growing their margins, because that's what really matters for them, growing their net margins. They grew their margin 32% year over year to an 8% margin. They just keep growing their margins. The net income was at a record of 57%. So Sprouts Farmers Market is one I do own. So yeah, I just hold both of those stocks. Um, Thank you. Yeah, no problem, Destin. Thanks for being on the YouTube stream. I appreciate you. Can you go over Take Two? Yeah. They reported earnings. I didn't know that. Let's check them out here. So Take Two, they're down 3% after hours. Did they report earnings today? Was I don't know if this is the most recent quarter. Okay, so it it is. So they beat on revenue slightly. Honestly, this is the company, by the way, that owns Rockstar Games. So this company owns GTA 5. They own GTA 6. And the stock's at an all-time high. It's tough buying this company. I actually wouldn't buy this stock at all-time highs. But I can't wait to see what the revenue happens with GTA 6. Are you not getting rid of your Krispy Kreme? No, I put like $50 into Krispy Kreme. Yeah, check this out right here. Y'all, Krispy Kreme's going bankrupt. We initially we put in $78 into them, and the stock's pretty much just at an all-time low. Krispy Kreme's only worth 500 million. Another like kind of restaurant we've all heard of that's going bankrupt. And this is crazy. I actually look at Wendy's. I mean, Wendy's is collapsing. The whole company of Wendy's is only worth 2.3 billion, when McDonald's is worth 250 billion. So they have a 5% dividend yield though. Jeez, this stock looks like a bond. Look at this right here. Anyway, yeah, Wendy's unfortunately not doing too good. They said main dividend today, but I didn't receive mine. Hey, I received my Main Street Capital dividend like an hour ago on Robinhood. So yeah, so check this out, guys. If you'd like a high yielding dividend stock, this is Main Street Capital. They actually pay a monthly dividend, and they have like a 6% yield. I bought them a couple days ago. Here, I'll show you that really quickly. They pay you 25 cents per share per month. So my 4 shares paid me $1, obviously. So yeah, this company has a 5.56% dividend yield. I actually just made a whole YouTube video about them. If you're curious about that, hey, the best way to support me, by the way, is just subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's in the link tree in my bio. It's just called Nathan Robert. If you type it into YouTube. Uh, Recipe said Coinbase stock just joined the S&P 500. So yeah, dude, that sent the stock up like crazy. That's that huge candlestick right here. Whoa, what is this right here? Breaking news. Coinbase says cyber attack cost up to 400 million. That after bribed overseas employees stole customer data. That is not good. So I mean, anyway, that's actually a lot of money. 400 million. Anyway, here's the good news about Coinbase though. Look at this is an important metric. Monthly transacting users, 9.7 million. That's really impressive. And the net income super strong here. So yeah, it costed them like 2/4 of net income, that loss there. That's actually really unfortunate there. But yeah, they're a super profitable company. The free cash flow is really strong as well. So yeah, Coinbase is nice. What's up, King? You said you buying United Health. Yeah, what's up, Eric? Let's look at United Health. I did buy a little bit. I bought zero point 0.1 shares today. I didn't have too much cash, so because I haven't, I'm getting paid soon, but I'm down 29% of my position. I don't I'm definitely not selling them. I'm not going to add too much more to my position. I'll probably buy another share. But yeah, look at this. Here's my history. I bought 4.2 shares on May 1st at $400. And then I bought zero point 0.1 shares today. for $26. So not much, but um, I do like them. I'll be Here's a quick analysis on them. You know, 3% yield here. That's huge. So you're getting paid to just hold the stock. They're trading at a historic, very low valuation. This company is priced in to like for their net income to drop 30%, which I don't believe is going to happen. So on it, not financial advice here. I do think the risk to reward looks very fair on United Health. What price would you buy Amazon at? Well, hey, here's my literal average cost is 183. I literally have been buying Amazon the past month here. So here's my average cost basis. So honestly, I'd buy them at 183 um in a literal answer. But yeah, I think this Amazon's a great just buy and hold forever company. Such an innovative stock right here. You know, their AWS business is huge. Look at the net income though. Crazy bottom line growth on Amazon. They're making 15 billion of net income a quarter. It's probably going to go down at the end of the month again for UNH. Yeah, UNH could probably drop another 10-15%, but a couple years from now, I think I think we'll be up on the position. If you have the buy and hold mindset here. Catching a knife, yeah, it could be catching a fallen knife. Let's see, what's up, Nick? He said, Super Microcomputer. Let's check them out. It's one I do own. You know, with these risky kind of companies like a SoFi, Robinhood, Toast. You don't want to have a huge position in them, like maybe like 1% of your portfolio. So I do own some Super Micro. They actually just got a $20 billion deal with like Volts. I forget the name, like Data Volt, I think it was. They're trading at 25 times PE, very fair valuation. You know, they just sell a commodity. I do like Supermicro, just as a hold. I don't know about buying them right now. Thoughts on a $600 billion deal with Boeing and Saudi? Hell yeah, that was like the whole contract, or with like the whole aerospace. Like they gave some to GE Aerospace and Lockheed Martin, right? Um, Let's see. Boeing never seems to have luck in the market. Yeah, Boeing finally had its moment here. So, you know, we'll look at Boeing because they did have a huge deal. And that's kind of why they rallied up the past couple of days. So even if we go to this is the unfortunate part. I'm about to show you the bad news here. You know, they're down bad from their, 2019 price. The thing is with Boeing, they haven't made a single dollar of net income in over 2 years. They literally just haven't made any money in 2 years. Like here's 2023, they lost 3 billion, and then I just scroll all the way to 2025, they're still losing net income. So hopefully they'll finally start making some profits. They're really leveraged as well, more liabilities than assets. But and they cut their dividend. I thought they paid a dividend. Anyway, I'd rather buy like a GE Aerospace or maybe a ooh. Has anyone heard of Embraer, ERJ? This is a hidden gem like aerospace stock, and they're at an all-time high pretty much, so it is hard to buy them, but they're not way below their 2019 price. Still underperforming the market. I just don't think Boeing will outperform in the long run. Let's see here. You have after hours. Yeah, I got the overnight market. So if we go to Robinhood right here, we can see what stocks are doing right now. Like, let's see, the Q's literally right now in the overnight market is at 519. We can see, yeah, here's my watch list on the day. A lot of, or my popular stock. Tesla was down, Apple, Microsoft. Basically, the Mag 7 was down today. Um, let's see. Yo, what's up, dude? He said ATA stock. Are you talking about this is the Canadian company ATS Corp? I don't know if that's the one. Let me know. I can't find that one. Maybe they're the Ooh, James said Texas Roadhouse. Yo, anyone heard of Texas Roadhouse? They're really popular in America. It's just like a little restaurant, and they're doing great. I mean, phenomenal growth. You know, for a restaurant in this environment, I mean, let me show you this down here. They print net income. I mean, for the restaurant that they are. Yo, Slump Dog, thanks so much for the roses. Yeah, dude, we'll look at Dave after this. Thank you so much, dude. So yeah, they're making easy 100 million of net income a quarter, and they also have a dividend of 1.3% yield. I think the valuation is a little high on Texas Roadhouse, but they have crushed the S&P. They have outperformed the market like crazy. So yeah, Slump Dog, thanks so much for the roses. Let's look at Dave right here. Yeah, dude, Dave has been my best performer the past month. I literally bought this stock. You can see the buy position. I bought all 7 shares, basically a month ago, and the stock is up like crazy. They're still a small company, a $2.45 billion company, but they had the most impressive numbers. I mean, look at this free cash flow growth. I mean, you can't make that up. The sales were at a record as well, up 50% year over year. So I really like Dave. Uh, let's see. Yeah, Texas Roadhouse is awesome. Um, you buying UNH after that? What's up, King? Yeah, I have bought a little UNH. Uh, ooh, Vici Properties, yo. This is a higher yielding dividend stock. They own a lot of popular properties in Las Vegas. Like if you've heard of the Las Vegas Sphere, They own the land under that, like Caesar's Palace, the Venetian, all the like popular things on the strip. They own the land under that. And it's all triple net leased. And because of that, this is a real estate company, so they have a 5.5% dividend yield, and it's completely sustainable because they're a REIT, a real estate investment trust. So that's what's really cool about VG Properties. Well, the late night stream. Hey, yes sir, random guy. Um, we're we're doing I don't do these too much, so I appreciate y'all being here. CRWV, yeah, CoreWeave just IPO'd right here. Yo, I'm streaming on YouTube and TikTok right now. I'm reading both chats. So here's CoreWeave. They literally just IPO'd. I know Nvidia owns like 400 million of them. Only like 10% of the shares are available to trade, so it moves like crazy. This is the good news. They now do a billion. They did a billion of sales in the most recent quarter. Like that's a huge amount of sales, a billion. And in 2023 Q4, it was only 100 million. So they've really grown the business. They're still losing net income. So I just need to see more history for this company. But uh, because I don't really know the valuation to put on them. Let's see. OBDC. Yeah, here's another REIT, like, or I mean, BDC, and kind of like Main Street Capital. OBDC. Uh-oh, hey, yo, t- what's up? Free, my TikTok stream just like got taken down. Uh-oh. Did my Wi-Fi just go out? That's not good. Wait, I think we're good on. Okay, I think TikTok just took down the stream. That's not good. Okay, hey, we're still reading the YouTube chat though, so let's go check out OBDC. Yeah, if you guys got any stocks you want to look at in the YouTube chat, I'll go through all of them because we're only here now. So anyway, the dividend yield is an 11.6% here. They have a huge dividend on OBDC. That's because they're a BDC. They're kind of like REITs. They have to pay out most of the income they make in the form of a dividend by law. So yeah. Yeah, Eric, the TikTok live ended. That's so unfortunate. TikTok done took me down for no reason either. Like that's so weird. Let me try restarting the app. I mean, I don't. You know what? We'll see what happens. Oh, is it really gonna overlay on this monitor? Well, this is just great. So yeah, OBDC, I don't expect them to outperform the market in the long run, but what you do get is a very nice dividend with OBDC. So yeah, let's look over here. Do you have a preference for higher market caps? Yeah, I like the mid caps, but yeah, if I go over here, my main portfolio, all the stocks in here easy have over a. I own a lot of the Mag 7. Like I got Google. All these are like $20 billion companies or more. This is my main dividend portfolio right here. But I do own some of the riskier stocks, like over here. Like what are actually none of these are really that small of companies actually. See, I really like mid caps. I guess that's the answer. Yeah, my account got fully banned. See, that's TikTok right now. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yep, it did. It did. So if you look up Nathan Robert on TikTok, it doesn't exist. See, this is why I don't like TikTok. Anyway, um, let's keep going here. Oh, CNQ, what's up, Acer? Hey, let's keep looking at some stocks here. Yeah, I'm reading all the YouTube chats here. So CNQ right here, Canadian Natural Resources. They're a Canadian company. Wow, this stock's actually done pretty good since 2019. Let's check out the yield right here. So they have a 5% yield. So they must be like an oil and gas, maybe utility stock. Yeah, exploration and production, oil sands. So yeah, look at that. This is in US dollars. They're making easy a billion of net income a quarter. Then they pay out most of that in dividends. So pretty nice yield there. Do you know you think Snow's a good buy right now? What's up, King? So yeah, Snowflake, this is like Palantir's biggest competitor. They do the same thing Palantir does, but here's the bad news about Snowflake. And or I'll show you the good news first. Here's what's so impressive about Snowflake, the sales growth. I mean, in 2020 it was 250 million. Now it's 3.5 billion. Like it's literally at a new record every single quarter. So I love the revenue growth, but the bad news are the net income losses. And that's why I think the stock has been kind of suppressed for the past couple years because of these big net income losses. And a lot of that is because of their stock-based comp. You see how they're making 400 million of free cash flow this quarter and they lost 300 million in net income? That's because it's included in GAAP and net income. It's their stock-based comp. So anyway, let's see here. KSPI is one of the crazy. Let's see, KSPI. So I've not heard of this company before. $15 billion company. They're trading at 8 times net income. Unfortunately, the stock has not done too good. Let's see here. So they're a fintech marketplace and payments. Okay, that's actually cool. Oh, so the currency. I don't know what currency KZT is, and it's not giving me the ability to switch it to US dollars, which is weird. It's never done that. So, well, whatever we just look at the growth rate here. This that is definitely not in US dollars, but it's up 13% year over year. So the business is growing here. Yeah, sales were up 48% net. So that means their margins kind of aren't growing as much. Yeah, look at that. The net margins fell 23%. I, 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 I wish I could give you more thoughts on this company. They have a nice 6% dividend yield. But they look interesting. Looks like a fintech. Hey, what's up, Suzuki, man? How's it going, dude? Um, What's your largest position in your long term? Yeah, so there's this. I'm never selling this stock right here. Carlisle. You've probably never heard of them before. They're a roof repair company. There I have 5,000 in that one, and then Constellation Energy. This is the second biggest nuclear energy stock in the world. But in the U.S. they're number one. They own 55% of all the U.S. nuclear reactors. So largest pure play for nuclear energy. But if we head over here to my buy and hold portfolio, Comfort Systems, man, I love this stock right here. Ticker symbol FIX, the most impressive fundamentals of any stock like I've ever seen. And then we got some other ones in here. Definitely don't listen to me. This ain't financial advice. We're down bad on Perio Network down here. Let's see. Hope you get. Yeah, hopefully we'll get unbanned here. Why'd you pick Main Street Capital over? Oh, just I think Main Street Capital will outperform Realty Income in the long run. If I go to my Roth IRA right here, I picked up again not much of it, but I got 4 shares of Main Street Capital. But I didn't sell Realty Income to buy Main Street. I sold Realty Income like a couple months ago, and I actually bought a different REIT with the proceeds. I spent all the Realty Income I bought CubeSmart. This is a different REIT. They just do self storage. They also have a really nice yield. They have a 4.83% dividend yield. So that's what I like about CubeSmart. Um, Let's see. Buffett didn't exit out of snow. I'm not sure. We can check Warren Buffett's portfolio. We can actually only see Buffett's top 10 holdings over here. He owns a lot of the higher yielding dividend stocks like a Bank of America, Coca-Cola, Chevron. He owns Chubb, this is the insurance stock, DaVita, Kraft Heinz. He got Lunchables stock. I love Snow. Uh, Snow, their donuts are pro. Yo, what's up? What do you think about Sweet Green? Just opened 40 new stores. What is Sweet Green? Is that a stock right there? Let me know their ticker symbol. I can check them out. Eric bought some United Health Group today. Yeah, I think the risk to reward, I agree with you, looks pretty good on United Health Group. I was kind of saying that, back at 320, but I'm down to 29% on them, so that's not great. Um, yeah, hey, yeah. Let me know if any stocks you guys want me to look at in the YouTube chat because TikTok just took down my live and I'm only reading the YouTube chat now. CubeSmart and VZ. Oh yeah, dude, Verizon. This is another like pure dividend play. If we look at Verizon's dividend, this is a qualified yield. You get 6.2% of your money back in a qualified dividend a year. So, and for me, that would be a tax-free 6% yearly return. The only bad news about Verizon is that they haven't really moved much. Like if we go to it in 2020, 2019, it's the same price that it was. So you won't outperform the market, but what you do get is that sustainable 6% yield, which is pretty cool. Yo, did anyone realize? Look at AT&T. Like AT&T has secretly crept up to all-time highs. No one told me this. AT&T's been crushing it ever since they sold off Warner Bros. Discovery and cut their dividend. They cut their dividend, and the stock actually liked that. The investors liked that they cut their dividend. So, um, that's an interesting story around them. Oh, Pepsi's a good buy right now, but not UNH. Yeah, Pepsi, dude, I love all their brands. Um, they also own Frito-Lay, which is like Doritos and Cheetos. Look at this. Unfortunately, the stock is not done too good. Look at that. It's at like a new 52-week 52-week low. Look at the yield here. You get a 4.12% dividend yield, which is actually crazy. I think the dividend's sustainable. Pepsi's definitely not cutting their dividend. The payout ratio is a little high, 76% payout ratio, but the net income's strong. I mean, it's easy. Like 2 to 3 billion of net income a quarter if you average it out there. The sales were down 1%, but like big deal. The sales are down 1%. Does that mean the stock should be down that much? I don't know. So yeah, I do like Pepsi. I'm in the hey, yo, have a good night, Katie. See you later. I'm done with crypto. You get more returns with stocks. Yeah, like that's what like QQQM is a great tech ETF. Don't buy the QQQ, buy QQQM. It's the exact same ETF, just with the lower expense ratio. And you should get like 8 to 10% a year. That's kind of the idea with stocks. You don't want to get rich quick. You want to get like 8 to 10% a year. So you turn $100 to 110, and then you compound it so it turns 110 to 150. then 150 to 200. Then you kind of get what I'm saying there, but yeah, I just got banned on TikTok. Yeah, Destin, I'll handle that after the stream. I just don't want to deal with that headache right now. Going to the TikTok support. It's I that's why I appreciate y'all for y'all here on the YouTube stream. What do you think about SG? Just opened 4 new stores. Let's see. Oh, Sweet Green Stock. Let's check them out. I haven't heard of them before. So, $1.8 billion company. So they're a really small company, but if they're opening stores, I mean that's good news. Let's check out their revenue right here. So the revenue's up 5% year over year. I'm not sure what they do. The annual revenue growth is good. Let me actually check out their profile right here. So provide healthy food at large scale. Okay, let's go check out the net income. Are they making money? So no, they're still losing net income. The sales are up, but they're still losing like 20 million of net income a quarter. I'd like to see this company get profitable. It might take them a year or two to get profitable, but hey, it's interesting. They're opening new stores. But oh, they're like a Chipotle. Oh, maybe like I've never heard of them, but yeah, Chipotle's been crushing it. For a restaurant in this environment, check out the sales right here. This is what's really impressive. The net income was up 7. Actually, I didn't look at their most recent quarter, so they've actually seen a little bit of slowing growth. That probably explains why the stock's kind of been flat for a year. Yeah, so the revenue's only up 6%. Revenue grew 7, so that means they did grow their margin, which was impressive. But yeah, this company's easy making like 400 million in net income a quarter. So yeah, Chipotle. I like I like McDonald's. But McDonald's isn't even like a restaurant. They don't own the land under their stores and stuff. They don't operate their own stores. It's a big franchise model where they collect high margin royalties, and they actually own the land under the buildings, and they collect rent from their real estate business. So McDonald's is a cool all-in-one recession resistant company. 2008 the stock didn't decline. They actually acquired a bunch of new land for a cheap price in 2008. Genius. If you pay more attention to the recent acquisition and move to health brands, yo, what stock were we talking? Oh, you're talking about Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi's moving into more like healthy brands. You're right. I did notice that. I did notice that. Here, if you guys got any last minute stocks you want me to look at, let me know. I'll check them out for you. I'll do a quick last minute stock portfolio update here, because then I got to end the stream and get my TikTok unbanned. Unfortunately, yeah, it's gone. If you type in Nathan Robert, it doesn't exist. So that's not good. Oh, by the way, let's see. What do you think about Tesla? Oh, dude, I'll tell you why I don't like Tesla, and that's not the popular opinion to not like Tesla. But here's why I just can't buy them, especially at this price. They traded 195 times net income, and it's okay for a company to have a high valuation if they're growing like crazy. But look at this. Tesla's automotive business is down 15% year over year. So their main segment of business, automotive, down 15%. We can kind of see that up here. Their total vehicles delivered are down 13. So I and the margins collapsed as well. The net income fell 70% year over year. So there's no growth at Tesla. The sales down 10. Um, but Elon's back at the company though. You don't really look at the financials on Tesla though. So that's kind of the thing there. What's your opinion on Target? Yeah, dude. Actually, Target has a nice yield. So check this out. Um, this has a very sustainable dividend. So this is kind of like a dividend play. You get a 4.6% yield. The payout ratio is only a 50%. So you actually have room to raise their dividend even. And look at the net income right here. This was the bad news. Net income fell 20% year over year. But either way, they're making easy a billion of net income a quarter. Cash from operations was flat. I actually think this one's a decent risk to reward to just hold that one. Yo, what's up, Aaron? He said, or AA Ron, he said, Pony. Any good stocks around $5 to $10 worth around a billion? I think the only one, and let me search by price here, would maybe be UWMC. And this is a $6.6 billion company. This is a mortgage company. Um, APLD, they're worth 1.26 billion. Anyway, let's keep going here. I'll come back to that. Let's see. So Pony Ticker. So this is Pony AI. So let's check them out. Oh, they just IPO'd, so there's not much chart we can look at here. And there's probably not much financials either. So if we go to this right here, yeah, the revenue is 35 million and they lost 180 million. Well, there's only 1/4 of revenue I can look at here. They have a really good balance sheet though. Look at that. Lots of cash and no debt. So that's actually crazy. Hmm. Oh yeah, we can look at realty income as well. I'm trying to see if there's any other stocks like Wait, $5 to $10. I mean, yeah, not really. What about this one? Yeah. Nah, don't think so. Realty income. So yeah, this is another monthly paying dividend stock right here. You get paid every month just for holding shares of this stock. This is known as like the monthly paying dividend stock. You won't outperform the market in the long run with this stock. Like the stock is actually lower priced than it was in 2019, but what you do get is that 5.8% dividend yield. So very sustainable 5.8% dividend yield here. $50 billion company. They're in the S&P 500. They're a REIT, a real estate investment trust. So here, I'll show you that right here. I'll show you the numbers for yourself. They made 787 million in the most recent quarter. And let's see how much the dividend cost. Dividend costs, 711. So the dividend is, they can still easily afford the dividend. Yeah, because they have some quarters where they make nearly a billion. So yeah. Dividend payout ratio is safe on realty income, that yield. How do you feel about Amazon with the tariffs? I mean, the tariffs have really been walked back, but uh, it's not too big of a deal. I heard Amazon's like gonna move it on their third party sellers, like to handle that. Amazon was like encouraging all their third party sellers to like increase their spend. If we go to this right here, here's what's really impressive. Look, 38% of Amazon's revenue comes from their online stores. Then their third party seller services, where they collect a lot of high margin fees. Then their Amazon Web Services, their AWS business has seen some phenomenal growth. It's at a new record. I mean, this is what brings the most net income to Amazon actually is this AWS business. If we go to the net income right here, I mean, this is really impressive, 13 to 20 billion of net income every quarter. So I do really like Amazon. As like and I do own them by the way, I might be biased. I'm up 11% on them, but yeah. I own a lot of the Mag 7. I got Amazon, which does not pay a dividend, but I got Google right here, 19 shares of Google. Here's my total percent change on every stock. The only stock we're down on, of course, is United Health Group. We're down bad on them. My major in college is finance, and I graduated bachelor's. I appreciate the info. Hey, yeah, hey, I appreciate you, AA Ron. Yes, sir. Um, yeah, I just try and like show you the honest numbers. Hey, thanks for the subscribe, man. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm normally streaming on TikTok right now, and the chat's way more active, but they just literally permanently banned my TikTok account, so I gotta go fix that. I appreciate y'all being here. If you want to hit the follow button or the subscribe button, I appreciate that. Um, I also, if you literally want to, and I don't want to, I didn't even want to say this, but I guess I'll show. I do have a private Discord. I literally made it today, and it cost $1 to join if you want to join it. There's literally no members, not a single one. I made it today, so if you want to check that out, it's in the description. But I'll see y'all later.